all over America, those African American men or women that those top echelon, that percentage got to be probably less than one as being general managers probably in the country, I would imagine. And I'm not don't take that data, but I know it's low. I know out of 18,000 dealerships in America, it's the last count I saw was 266 of minority owned dealers, and that minority owned doesn't mean that you're African American. That's just minorities in general. So that number is low, and so we got a lot of work to do. And for me, I'm trying to do my part as well as others. I'm a part of NAMAD. I'm part of NAMAD organization, which is the National Association of Minority Dealers. And that we do our part there, which is where people try to get engaged and try to figure out what those issues are and how can we help fix those issues. As myself, I take the time to try to mentor younger dealers and younger up and coming dealers because I know what it's like to be needing that information, not have a fountain to go to, and it's tough, because we don't have that fountain to go to sometimes to be able to bounce that information off of. So for me, I've been able to be a part of a great group of dealers that are up and coming, and some of the previous dealers who we have these conversations, and I think we're going to get it going in the right directions. I think the eyeball is on it right now, and we got to seize that moment while the eyeball is on it because it won't be there forever.
Wow, that's outstanding. You you need to do a book. You know that, right?
Hey man, you know what? I need to do that. I think that's one of the things I got to start working on. We don't have enough time in this show if I gave you the whole conglomerate of everything. To know my story is to know God is awesome, right? And He led me to this position and through everything that I've been through to get here. So to have this conversation, I don't take lightly. To have this conversation, I am fully aware of, being an open book to giving that knowledge of some of the younger youths out there, because, man, you got to have hope, but you got to have hope. You got to have a vision. You got to have hope, but man, you got to have that fortitude in you to know and believe in yourself that you can win, and nobody else can tell you if you can't win. You can't win. If somebody else tell you can't win, and you sit on the bench, that's probably where you deserve to be.
Claflin University has been the choice of thousands of students to help them prepare for a life of success and to realize their dreams.
Claflin has an amazing reputation of preparing the workforce here in the South Carolina region and globally. We know that your experience here at Claflin will be transformational.
The university has many articulation agreements with international institutions of higher education. Consider Claflin University as your choice because the world needs visionaries.
Just said there, all of it is. But you said a couple things, again, makes it real easy to talk to you. And tell us about some of the initiatives that you have in place for some of your employees, because I know for a fact all car dealerships don't take that time and effort to try to nurture and grow their employees like you have done.
No, I think coming up through the business, for me, and me from talking to some of the other dealers now, what I did learn is, like I was just saying early on, you don't get that education, right? You don't get that you're told to go in and, do your job and that's that. But what about those people? For me, I started to think about, really start to try to get it together. Like, man, I don't want to just own one dealership. I started an auto group, and I started with store number 1, store number 2, and I'm in store number 3. So I'm in 3 dealerships at this point, which is Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Nissan dealership, and a Ford dealership. And to get those deals and to grow them and continue to grow, me starting my auto group was, okay, the one thing I do know is that there's not tons of talent out there. There's not tons of talent out there that can operate these deals. Buying them is one thing. Operating is a whole different world. And if you're gonna operate these deals, you're only one person, right? So how are you able to continue to grow without stretching yourself beyond them? Because at some point you're going to be where you're going to be useless to yourself. And I started to think, what would I have liked to have happen for me in an organization, and which would be, how do you plan to develop for those who have the skill set and the fortitude and the dreams to get there? How do you make your place different to come work for? How do you make your organization different to come work for, other than just saying, hey, I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars, or this opportunity for you to make all the money is here, right? So what is that, what does that look like? And after doing some talking and, doing some collabing with some with some insurance companies, reassurance companies, and some other people and some providers, what I came up with was I wanted to start my own dealer internal academy for my organization. And when you say that, you know, what does that look like? Let's have a curriculum set in place, right? How can we get these people in? You know, what would they have to do to get there in these positions? What would they have to obtain to go to, go take a salesperson to sales management, a salesperson to finance school, a service technician to service writer, a service writer to service manager to fixed ops director, right? How do you take somebody who's somebody who answers the phone, a receptionist? How do you take that receptionist that maybe works at just answering phones, or that person who works in the office who just does billing, accounts payable, and get them prepared to become a comptroller, an office manager, some people in position of these powers that make these deals really hold them together, right? And I got a deal to where we put it together, and I was able to send these guys off to a accredited automotive industry school that teaches them that, right? Now, those pedigrees of how we set that in line, of course, you got to set that in line where there has to be performance based in that department, or either a performance based in that department and upon longevity, because it does cost money. And I think the biggest thing is the investment, right? The investment is the biggest thing in order to get any of this going from a dealer's standpoint, because it costs money. You know, it costs money to get them. So for me, I invested a fund to where, you know, since I've owned my stores, where I was able to start putting a little kitty hole aside, and okay, once we start figuring out what that looks like, okay, I put X amount into this deal. I got some of my sponsors and backers to go in with me on this deal to be able to provide me to send my GSM to a dealer school, get my GM prepared to become a operator. So when I buy the next store, my GM's prepared in the proper manner. He's following the processes. He's been prepared to know how to read a financial statement. He's been prepared to know how to operate a store. My next comptroller knows how to handle an accounting office. She knows how to handle that person will know whether he or him or she will know how to handle accounts receivables, reconciling bank statements, all of those things that I think going hand in hand. So now when somebody comes to my organization, it ain't like, okay, man, I'm just here working. You got a chance to change your life. You know, I mean, the car business has changed my life for me, in the amount of financially. And I've seen it do it for so many others. So with that being said, if somebody comes to my organization, they're not coming there with a dead end career. You know, if you choose this is what you want to be involved in, then you have opportunities to be able to better yourself and better it for your family, because it has helped me better my family. My son works for me right now, and he's my two sons and a girl. My daughter's still in college right now, but my two sons, he's a parts manager right now. He's trying to learn to become a fixed ops director, which is one of the ends I had to grow into. So he took a liking to it and said he wanted to learn the fixed ops. So now he's into the fixed ops version of it, going to fixed ops school to learn to become a fixed ops director. And eventually, at some point, if he desires to become, sit in these seats, sit in the seat I sit in, he has to put that same work in. So he has to go through that same training and learn it also. But those opportunities are out there for everybody within inside my organization, and I think that's been key. I think it's the morale of my organization. It went up above the level because there were people in my organization was telling me that they didn't know what they wanted to do. They just thought that they'll be working a deadbeat job for the rest of their life. And then now they see there's opportunities. And for me, that was it's a part of me about growing that organization that means a lot to me, but it's even more when I think about growing people, right? What is that? When I go back to what is that gift from God? It's like, okay, being able to create a team, bring a team together, but how do you create other opportunities for others? It's not about you or yourself. What is that purpose? So that purpose is to provide a greater organization to come work in and make this organization greater as a whole. But in order to make it greater as a whole, it takes great people, not a great person. It takes great people. And so that's what I'm trying to create inside this organization. I mean, that's my vision.
That's a great vision to have. And you kind of touched on something that most people don't really think about when you think about job opportunities at the car dealership. Most of the time, you just think it's salesman or nothing. but
Yeah.
you just kind of touched on it a little bit. What are some of the job opportunities that exist for people?
There's so many. It's so funny. But I'll start out. You got sales, of course, right? You got inventory management. You have sales managers. You have used car inventory managers. You have service writers, right? You have service technicians. You have parts counter technicians. You have parts managers. You have in accounting. You have accounts payable, right? You have accounts payable in there. You have titling. You have a person who does billing and titling, right? Your comptroller basically oversees all of it, which means that's the person who's going to be reconciling your bank accounts, making sure that everything is aligned financially with inside your store, right? You're going to have um, um, internet, right? You got internet. And I want to touch on this internet base for a minute, which is one of the reasons that I talk to like Claflin University and some of these other universities at South Carolina State, some of these other universities that are out there, but definitely Claflin for sure. And Claflin, I want to applaud them because, we've had conversations about how do we bridge the business end, their business side, and those students to bridge into what we're doing. And the internet side, we talk about the social media and internet side of today's generation of students, and they spend so much time, right, as a whole, we as a society, on social media, the internet, these Facebooks. Well, guys, there is a spot inside of the automotive industry for that. A high demand. A super high demand for that quality of person who does run social media, which is reputation management. That's also the skill set that's out there that's on the rise, that's growing hectically. I'm currently seeking that same person right now to try to fill in those spots for my organization in several stores. Because that's a huge part. People on social media, they're on the internet. How do we get that up that goes off into into that segment of the business? My wife handles the community development. So she's the community development liaison that runs all of that gets involved with the hospitals and the community. And so so at my store every month, or every quarter, we meet with all the people in the community who wants to be involved about doing different activities. What's the need for this community? And she's a big part of getting that up and going and helping make sure we spearhead that along with everybody else in that community, the guys from Claflin, the regional hospital. There's just the Orangeburg Sheriff's County Sheriff's Department. There's so many people and so many hands and so many great volunteers that we do these deals with that helps us out. But that's part of another segment of it also, right? So I'm probably missing some of the other things, but as a whole, man, there's just so many opportunities in this great business that we are in. And even if you go outside of the retail end, you got manufacturers like Stellantis and General Motors and Nissan and some of these other manufacturers that are out there right now, Ford, they're looking for minorities in key roles in their business also. In their development side of it, so it ain't just working inside of the actual dealership. There's jobs and opportunities within the manufacturers as well. I talk to them a lot, do a lot of talking to those guys, and they're also looking for those next rising stars.
Wow, that's outstanding. But I know you said your wife kind of handles the liaison part. What are some of the things that you do within the community? I think you have something coming up here soon, don't you? With you being involved.
Oh yeah. 100%. One of the things, this will be out this year, April 2nd, will be our second annual, Tony T's Easter egg hunt for the kids. And last year, I think we had over 500 or so kids. I think is what we had last year. And we did over 3,000 Easter egg hunts, and we gave away over 20 something bikes to these kids in the community. And we do it at the South Carolina campus at this particular store at Tony T's CDJR of Orangeburg. And all of these people I just told you about, the Healthy Blues and everybody else that I just told you about, we come together as a whole. We have these booths set up. We have all these different events for kids to get involved in on. They do the Easter egg hunts, then they get a chance to, get the eggs, get a chance to get the bikes. And this year's going to be bigger. I'm excited about this year. The last year was like, okay, we're feeling our way through it. This year, it's going to be a bang. We're gonna have probably 50 bikes this year, if not more. We still got vendors bringing it in, giving it. We got more vendors that want to join this deal this year. We're expecting well over the 500 kids that we had last year, and it's an opportunity. We have the first aid kits out there for the people. They're teaching kids about first aid. And these kids are getting involved. We got Walmart involved also. So we got Walmart involved as as a provider for this deal too, sponsor, and man, it's going to be a great deal. So that's one of the events that I love to do. That's out in the community. One is probably my top line for me is the opportunity that I get to go speak to at-risk kids in the community. When it comes, so I go to the different schools and I get to speak to the at-risk kids. For me, that's probably the one that hits close to home for me because I was a little rambunctious kid. I was a kid who, like I said all before, it wasn't always easy. And I want these kids to understand because of the mistakes they make doesn't mean that that's the end of their life. That's not because they made a mistake doesn't mean they can't go out and achieve their dreams. And I love to have those conversations with the underdogs. And a lot of these kids I still stay in contact with, and that's for me. That's probably one of my bigger deals is going to the different ones. Deputy Feld and I of Orangeburg County Sheriff's Department, we set different venues to go, and I'll go speak, and I get other people to go speak. We get involved in that. We've gotten involved in the community feeding of the elderly. So every Thanksgiving, I'm not Thanksgiving, but every Valentine's Day, just like this past, we go get in the community. We hit a couple of the elderly homes, and we take out food, flowers, and we go show them that they're appreciated. We go sit down and we take them and we talk to them. We have those conversations with them, and we do a lot of that with the hospital. We do a lot of the blood drives. I mean, we do a lot in the community as a whole, and it does pull you. But man, I wouldn't have it any other way, Mick. I tell you, I wouldn't have it any other way. God gave me a blessing, and I'm not trying to keep it to myself. It's to show His glory and what He's capable of doing, and that's what I try to live by.
Man, one of the things the excitement as you talk about your Easter egg hunt and the things that you do in the community, that's you almost sat up in your chair and got even more animated about it. Out of everything that you've talked about today, you have that energy, but that giving back to the community and the Easter egg hunt, the bike giveaways, and the number of kids you service, you seem to draw a lot of pleasure from doing that with them.
I do, man. I do. I love to see the smile on the kid's face. I love to see that energy. I don't take it lightly as being an African American male, and and being that understand that, man, that's my responsibility to be able to show these guys and these kids that there's more to it, and we don't have to just be athletes. We don't have to be entertainers. We don't have to be we don't have to be any of that. I mean, you can be successful in your own right. You can be successful in your own right and make an impact. And I want them to understand that being those individuals they may want to be, their dreams are not silly. They're not dumb. Those dreams are aspirable for you. Your success is judged upon you. It's not judged by the people around you. And if it is, then we got to teach them to change that mindset.
Wow. In closing, there's something I want you to talk about. You talked about your social media and doing a lot. Tell me why would somebody out of the Orangeburg area come to Orangeburg to purchase a vehicle from you? Why would they do that? How does that happen for them?
I think it's super easy for me. I mean, I think we provide the best atmosphere that you could ever come buy a vehicle in, right? I think we're welcoming, we're warm. When you come in, we're all smiles, and we're there to help. I'm not here to, I tell my guys all the time, I'm not here to sell you a car. I'm here to consult you on buying whatever your needs may be, right? So if your need is for SUV, I can consult you on the best way and the best vehicle for that in this segment. If that is a service need or recommendation for your service because your vehicle's having an issue, then we have certified technicians that are to do that. I think if you ever go on our social media and you go to TonyThomas.com and you go to the element of where you can see the social, we have fun. We make it fun. We make it fun, and I think from coming into this community, a lot of the people that are in the community will tell you that. And we're growing. and we're growing fast. And that's one of the things that I think I'm super ecstatic about, coming out here being a Texas guy and coming out here getting involved and being in South Carolina and, soaking it all in and just really enjoying the people. The Orangeburg area, Orangeburg County, and Columbia, and in the South Carolina region, man. This region has been nothing but great for me. They come in, they get involved, they give us the opportunities, and that's all we're asking. I'm not telling you to come in and get a deal. I'm telling you give us the opportunity to make you a great deal, and that's what we will provide. And I think we're not only there for the sale, but even after the sale, and we deliver cars all across the country. I mean, that's me being from Texas. One thing is I had a huge clientele when I left. And I deliver vehicles from here to Texas, California, to New York. We're all over the place. So don't get it mistaken just because we're in South Carolina that you can't get your deal. You can get that deal and we can deliver it to your door. And you don't even have to step foot in the store in order to do so. But I think you'll enjoy the comment and you'll be part of growing something great. As you can see, I'm giving back to my community. So this is not just about me. I take a certain amount of that and I'm pushing right back out there. I'm not only taking, I'm giving.
You said a couple things that have answered questions because people have asked me about your dealership with what we do with the Claflin Athletic Show and the fact that it's on Roku and in 19 different countries, and people in the area I know have asked, and they've asked me about that. Two things I'd like you talked about delivering a vehicle. Mm-hmm. I want to know how that works, and if somebody buys a vehicle from Georgia, would they be able to get it serviced locally, or do they have to get it back to Orangeburg to have it serviced?
Okay, I answer the latter one first. So if you buy a vehicle, no matter what part of the country you're in, you can get that vehicle serviced at your local dealer. They're still on the factory warranties, and those warranties they're valid in anywhere in the continental United States. So yes, you can buy your vehicle from them. We can ship it there, and you can take it and get it serviced at your local dealer, and that's under your factory warranties also. And that's even with your pre-owned also. So not just on your new, even on your pre-owned vehicles, you can get that because we have warranties on those. We have warranties on those too. So you can do that also. As far as the convenience of delivery, you want to know how that works? Simply, you go online, you shop, you find a vehicle that you like, you put the inquiry in. We have one of our super certified consultants will give you a call back. And all this can be handled online. Contracts, they can go everything online. They can go over all your contracts and everything can be done online with you. And at that point in time, once that's all done and we've agreed upon numbers and it all works, you look at your contracts, everything is great. At that point in time, what happens is we have I have an in-house delivery service that I already have. And we take that vehicle, we put it on the trailer and we get it delivered. And we get it delivered to you. And once you get it, you inspect it. If it's not up to par, then it's simply returned. That's as simple as that. Once you get it and it's all there and it's in your hands and you're happy with it, then we will follow up with a survey, right? Because I have surveys. I want to know if we are not up to par, what that is, so we can fix it. And I need to hear from you guys who are actually buying the vehicles and do business. So at that point in time, once you get it, shortly after that, maybe within the next 3 or 4 days after you get delivered your vehicle, there'll probably be a survey or follow up. And if it can't be filled out with nothing but hundreds, please let me know what the issue could be to give me the opportunity to rectify whatever that can be.
Wow, you really make that seem easy.
It's been working great for the last 2 years. Like I said, we sell a lot of vehicles in the area, but we sell a lot of vehicles outside the area. And if you go on the website, you'll probably see a lot of customers on there that are on our Facebook that are from other areas, and they'll tell you, man, hey, I'm from Georgia, I'm from New York, I'm from Texas, I'm from wherever, and hey, I bought my vehicle here. We sell a lot of them out of Florida too, but we bought our vehicle here, man, and we were more than happy with the process. And like I said again, we're here to try to provide a service that's a little bit different, but also the treatment is what's even better for me. How the customer's being treated. If we're being treated great, if we're treating them fairly, in response, my business will automatically grow. Word of mouth is the best way to go. And, these guys can help me grow just by simply speaking that, how good we were to them.
Wow, that's outstanding. I know that answers a lot of questions. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it straight from Tony T. No matter where you are in the country, Tony T can deliver to you. So just go online. You'll be able to pick your vehicle out. You can get it serviced right there where you reside. If you have any issues, you know Tony Thomas. You know the man. Close to Barack Obama in terms of he will get back to you now. He's just that kind of guy. And you have to be impressed with the things that he said, the sincerity in what he says it, and his commitment to give back to the communities. We always say, as we open and close the show, you support those entities that support you. And they give back. And he's talked about the Easter egg hunt. INSiiGHTS might have to come up there and do something up there to cover that. That just sounds like the thing that we would like.
Come on, man. We want it all. We want it all. You know, we have a huge lot. And again, man, last year was such a huge deal. And this year is going to be even great. We're preparing to make this deal such a, big festival, right? It's going to be, one of those deals is going to be talked about for a while in that community. And man, it's going to be great. So I invite everybody to come on out. Anybody in the community that's nearby, come on by. Like I said, there'll be another over 3,000 Easter eggs that are put out there. Food will be there. There'll be food served also. Man, we're looking forward to it, man. That community. If you're in that community, come on out and join us. Just join. And we're not selling anything that day. You can see all the vehicles out there. It's not about selling you anything. This is about showing you how much we care about the community in itself.
And he said food is being served. What he didn't tell you is he thinks he's a grill master. That he likes to get out there and do that barbecue. He's from Texas. He knows how to do it. And
now I will tell you this. Now, if I get out there and grill, food will have to be sold. I am that good at it now, but hey, I'll have to sell that. That's some work going behind that.
Now that's true. Now, did you see, ladies and gentlemen, how he posed with it to get that point across for emphasis? He just wanted to make sure you understood that.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are blessed and honored to be able to bring to you Tony T. And we look forward to this relationship. And we look forward to you following the Claflin Athletic Show, sponsored by Tony T, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram. Thank you, everybody.
Go see Tony T. Get rolling today.
On Facebook.
I liked it on Facebook.
Follow us on Twitter. INSiiGHTS.
Yeah.
2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
All right, y'all.